Hey guys, today I'm just going to be going over the Sigma telephoto lens and the wide-angle lens, a bit about what they are and how to work with them. So what are telephoto lenses? Well, they're basically lenses with a much larger focal length than standard lenses. They can range up to 600 millimeters or even more. But as you can see here, this one just goes from 70 to 200 millimeters. They're really useful for shooting subjects that are really far away, or if you're ever in that situation where you can't necessarily be too close to the subject. For example, if you're shooting wildlife or sports, they're just really useful for bringing subjects closer to the camera, if you will. So I've just got the telephoto on the FX30 here, and as you can see, it's got a wheel for zooming at the front here, and then a wheel for focusing in the middle. But it's also got this sort of aperture wheel here that you'll find on a lot of cine lenses. So you don't change the aperture on the camera, but rather the lens. As you can see here, there's also some switches on the lens itself. And so this one is for switching from autofocus to manual focus. So I'll just leave it on autofocus for now. This switch here, this is for if you want to specify a certain depth of field for the autofocus to work with. So this will just work with the full depth of field. This will focus on from 3 meters in front of the sensor to infinity. And then this will focus on 3 meters or less in front of the sensor. So I'll just leave it on full for now. This switch is for optical stabilization. So this is basically for reducing camera shake. This one is just the standard mode for optical stabilization. And then I believe this mode is just optimized for panning. This custom switch you don't need to worry about too much. This is for just if you've downloaded software for the lens, then you can sort of switch to it using this. And then there's an on and off button just at the bottom here if you want to sort of turn the lens on and off. One thing to note, guys, when you're using this lens, is that when you've got it on the FX30 like I do, it will be very front heavy. So you need to hold it using 2 hands. So I'd recommend just one on the lens like this, and then your other hand on the camera. And if you're using a tripod, then don't screw it in here. Screw it into this hole on the lens here. It'll just kind of prevent it from falling forward like that because it's just so front heavy. So I've just got the wide-angle lens on my FX30 at the minute. As you can see, it goes between 14 and 24 millimeters. But 14 is like a really kind of short focal length. So if you want to get those sort of extreme wide shots, or even if you want to sort of emphasize barrel distortion, this lens is a really good lens to use. On the side here, like the telephoto lens, you've got a switch for going between autofocus and manual focus. And this button here, marked AFL, it's basically just for if you're on autofocus and you want to remain focused on a specific part of the depth of field. So let's say you want to stay focused on a subject, you just press this button and it'll stay focused.